that you're watching a musical play as if you were watching it from your own local theatre. If you can think like that, you'll enjoy the show. If you're watching it as a movie for a movie's sake, you won't enjoy this because time has marched on.
Can I just say, as you're saying about that, compared to a theatre thing, compared to a film, that there's so many scenes where people are just pausing and looking over hills.
Oh, yes.
Like the Indians pausing, looking over the hills. I see that. I see that wagon.
In some respects,
I'm supposed to be catching that wagon. Stop. Pause. Beat. Go.
In some respects, it's fucking awful. But none of that seems to matter. Like, some films can pull it off, and I think Calamity Jane's one of them. It's not a painful film to watch.
Out of all the older films, it's not bad.
Well, it's no Casablanca.
No,
it's no different. Casablanca. But, for an old musical, yeah.
That's okay, yeah.
it'll get across. Who else is there that's even close?
My daughter makes me watch Mary Poppins regularly. The old one.
No, but that's in the 60s.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's a 1953. So you give it credit.
7 Brides for 7.
I saw some shorts of that.
No. That's got
we won't be watching that.
It's got Howard Keel in it.
I don't give a flying fuck. Yes, because I went off and I investigated. Okay. And I went and saw what else he's been in, and it's awful.
Okay, I won't go there then.
Yeah, all right.
We'll just keep it there.
Yeah, no, Calamity Jane is far, far superior. It takes misogyny to the next level. Yeehaw.
Nice. All right, so
do you know what the 7 Brides for 7 Brothers is actually based on? Now, some people may say that this is a long stretch of the bow, but have you ever heard of the rape of the Sabine women?
No.
Okay. That is going back like 2,500 years ago to when Rome was first being started. And this is what this story is based upon.
How do you know that?
I study history, Pip. I didn't think we had to go through this. But suffice to say, the Romans...
That's quite a gap is what I'm saying.
Well, I know, but stories live a long time.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, the Romans started off and they had... Why are we talking about 7 Brides for 7 Brothers? I mean, it's a shit film.
Just continue on.
Stop it.
Continue on. You
can't
start.
No, I know. So anyway, what happened was the Romans realised that they didn't have any women. So how do they do that? What are they going to do to fix that?
When was this that they realised they had no women?
Oh, when they looked around and they started seeing the other men looking rather sexy.
When was this? What time?
Oh, this is like 600, 700 BC.
Okay.
All right. A long fucking time ago.
So before they really started going out and conquering everything.
No, there was no women there. What happened was Rome was basically a martial camp.
Yep, okay. No, I'm with you.
And so they realised, well, this is great. We've got some good defences, but we don't have any women to screw at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? So they looked around and there was another camp of people on the other side of the river called the Sabines. Mm-hmm. And so what they did was they had this big festival and they said, everybody come in. And so everybody came in. They brought their wives and husbands and everybody like that. And they came in and they basically grabbed all the women and killed all the men. And the Sabines, as you do,
Well, that does help, doesn't it?
And you know what? It started a war. And the only
don't say.
Yeah, don't say. And the only way the war came to an end was basically, I know kids, those people who know this story, I know I'm butchering it, but I'm just trying to get it through to Pip here. So what happened? Ooh.
No, I'm listening. Go.
So basically, the two armies came face to face with one another, and the Sabine women apparently went to the centre of the field and they said, look, Mum, Dad, we realise that all this happened, but we've been with these guys and they're not so bad. They're okay. They're okay. They're Romans. Yeah, what are you going to do?
They've got sanitation.
And the Sabine men went, oh yeah, all right. It couldn't be fucked. And that's the rape of the Sabine women.
Wow. Okay.
There you go. That's history. And I didn't even do the historical bit. I just left it go.
Well, I've learnt something.
I didn't expect to go there. Yeah, well, it's a very old...
I didn't know.
It's a very old story on the basis of the Roman Empire.
Okay, it's not amongst the tales
If-
I've been reading to my daughter.
If you want to actually know what really happened, that's a basic summary of it. But go off and like somebody will put it into like proper language and everything like that. But that's the basis of it.
Okay. Is there a film of it?
Yes, it's called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Okay. Well, there you go.
That's the point. That's what the film was made
Right,
upon.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, I've got you now.
Yes, all right.
How many stars do you give Calamity Jane?
Oh, fuck me.
Paul.
Oh,
focus,
shit.
focus.
Oh, look. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. Everybody sang in tune. It was 1953. Fuck it. 6. I give it a 6. It could have been so much worse, and I was just relieved that it wasn't painful.
I was really relieved too.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give it extra stars for being relieved. I'm going to give it 5.
Well, that's what I was going to give it. But I thought, no, well, I'll be a little generous because it could have hurt me so much more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's 6 stars from Paul and 5 stars from me for Calamity Jane.
That's right, because it's like over 70 years ago.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
So
It could have been god awful.
I was expecting it to be good when it first started. Anyway, so next week, Paul, my mum.
Now, I'm going to defend your mum.
No,
so far, she's had a 1-to-1 fucking ratio.
Nightcrawler.
Yep, Nightcrawler, fucking hit.
My mum goes, what films you've been reviewing? Because I've listened and there's not a lot of Aussie films. And I went, oh, well, we've got to do lots of films. And she goes, you really should do an Aussie film because you've had a bit of a gap now. And I went, yes, Mum.
So she's listening to all of these, is
Not
she?
all of them, but every now and again she'll
What's her
have
name
to listen.
again?
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Anyway, so for my mum, I'm putting up the Aussie film The Dressmaker. And Paul has to watch it. And our local museum just had all the dresses from it.
I'm not
in
happy.
Their museum.
I'm just saying, I'm not fucking happy.
You might really enjoy
Oh,
it.
look,
It might be another Calamity
You
Jane.
know what?
I haven't seen it.
It might be a sentimental knockout, and I'll be going, it was fantastic.
We should be putting up more Aussie films. This is The Dressmaker. I put it up.
All right.
My
no,
mum
you
says-
didn't put it up.
My
That's
mum-
the whole point.
my
Your
mum
fucking
said to
mother
put-
did.
My mum said put up an Aussie film.
Fine. We're doing the fucking dressmaker. Happy? Happy? Happy, Karen? Are you happy? No, you're not. Fine. I'm going to hate this film.
Paul, what are you putting up?
Well, I did tell you. What did I write down?
What you told me to write down was
Yeah, that's it.
The Hateful Eight.
Okay. Now, the reason I'm doing this one is this is not a film by Quentin Tarantino that is well loved.
It is a film by Quentin Tarantino, but it's not loved. I thought you were going to say it's not a film by him. And I went, who is it by?
No, it is. It's done by Quentin Tarantino.
No, the way you were wording.
No,
Sorry, don't worry.
it's not well loved. And I want to defend this film. I
you
want
seen
you
it?
to watch. Yes, I have.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
I have watched this, and I see where he's going with this, and I want to defend him on this because you know I'm a bit of a Quentin Tarantino boy.
No, I know that.
Yep. And
Actually, you know what? A lot of his stuff is really well done. I have nothing
well, a
against
lot
him.
of people say that this isn't.
Well, I haven't seen this one.
So let's go and find out.
Okay, so
this one's already under the pump.
This week we watched John.
Not as under the pump as a fucking dressmaker, though. I have to say.
So we watched John Wick and Calamity Jane, and next week we are watching The Dressmaker and The Hateful Eight.
You better be right, Karen. Coming for you if you're not.
Just suck it up, princess.
Oh, Jesus.
We hope you have a great week.
Do you know what time we're on?
What?
We're nearly an hour and a half.
We've been talking about crap.
Oh, we've just been rubbishing on.
I'm sorry. We'll be more organised next
Do
week.
you know how long it's going to take me to chop this down to an hour?
Are you going to?
Suck it up, guys. You're already here. You're already at the end of the podcast.
Just press the stop and you'll be good.
Nah, well, they listen to podcasts. They don't have a life. It's true. I listen to podcasts. I don't have a life.
I love listening to podcasts.
Yeah. Do you have a life?
I'd like to say yes. But really, I have no leg to stand on. All right. We hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Blah, blah, blah.